Hey guys, it's Landon from RH, and in this video I'm going to just give you a quick tour of a web application I created using Chef from Convex. It's a cool low-code, no-code platform that uses AI to build web applications. I've tried a half a dozen of these. Chef by Convex is by far the best one I have tried. I really haven't found one that works. This works, so I'm super stoked about it. I've messed around with some Claude artifacts too. I'm going to do some other videos on that. You can do some simple stuff like that with Claude, but this allows you to develop web applications that are a lot more complicated than an artifact in Claude. Now, this team has done an amazing job. It's not perfect. It's still a little buggy, and you gotta beat your head through it a little bit, but I'm sure they'll get better. I would be a little bit nervous about creating super complicated web applications for my organization with this tool, just because it's a little bit black box, although you can download your code, which is important. But for simple web applications, I think this is great. They do a great job. I'd be super curious to know how they've figured out the code quality unit testing kind of challenge with vibe coding. I'd be curious to hear how they've done that, but they've done a good job. So I'm going to show you this web application I made just to give you an idea give you the flavor of the kind of thing you can do for your own business. So this is called Loguroe. That's Greek for basically the flow of content. So it's a content management tool. And the way it basically works is you create boards that are Kanban tables like in Trello. You create a board for a particular content channel. So, for example, I have a publication here called Surveying the Law that I've done some work on, and it's one of the things I want to do some more work on here at Redefined Horizons, my company. So you can see it's got the title here, and then it's a bi-monthly, so we're going to try and do every 2-month publication for land attorneys and land title professionals, reviewing court cases and technical articles on boundary surveying and land title. So we can open this, and it's just a simple Kanban board. You can see here I can add a column, so we could say archived if we wanted. There's a column. You can add cards, so we can come in here and say, all right, we'll say we're going to have a new article. We'll call it The Weight of Monument Placement. That's an article I've written. Okay. So creates a new card. We can come in here. You can attach files. So you can attach markdown or text files. You can... It shows you the priority in the content. It's got a list of to-dos here, and it's got a history. So you can see it tells you date and time it was created, so we can edit the card. So we can say this article discusses why the placement of monuments on a boundary survey carries significant legal and practical weight. So the content package is going to be Surveying the Law issue number 1. You can associate that with a campaign. So this isn't going to have a campaign, but you could have like a series of blog posts associated with the campaign. So we won't put a campaign in here. This is going to be so I need to tweak this. We're going to call it a white paper for now. I need to fix that. And these icons should be material icons, so I got to fix that. I thought it was already fixed. We're going to say high priority. And then we'll give it a due date. It's got a little date picker here, which is cool. We'll make it Monday the 1st. Then we can add tags, boundary surveying, monuments, surveying the law, land attorneys. Okay, you can change the color of the card if you want. And I thought, so you can enter a hex code here if you want. Let's make it yellow. Okay, so there's my card with my tags. Obviously that is a horrible color choice. That's a horrible color choice. Let's try something a little darker. Alright, and then you can come in here, you can add to-dos if you want. So we can say, create an article outline using Google Gemini. We'd say, so there's the new one, the new to-do. We can say, write a rough draft of the article, Grammarly. And then we can say edit and proof read the article using Claude. And then if you want, you can come down here and you can so you can see it's telling me, hey, the card details were updated, but we can also add a comment. We can say created the initial task list to go from concept to rough draft. And then we can add that. That's going to say system because I didn't log in as a user, but if I logged in as a user, it would have my username here. So super handy. Okay, and then you can drag these. By the way, when you drag them, it will update the history and tell you that the card was moved. So you can kind of track its progress. It keeps track of how many to-dos are done. And this is super slick, right? Like this is super cool. Okay, I added a table view, so it'll actually give you a view of the all the articles or content pieces in the Kanban board in a table view, and you can sort, you can filter and sort. Like how freaking awesome is that? This is pretty awesome. Now it's got a task view. So part of what I wanted to do here was combine some of the best features of Trello and Basecamp. And there's another app I use. I can't remember. But I wanted to combine some of the best features of those. And so what's cool here is there's a universal task view. So it gives you a summary at the top. And then you can actually sort these by users, by campaigns, or by packages. So this aggregates. Sorry, let me just scratch my armpit there like I'm a gorilla. Sorry, that was so rude and very manlike. I apologize for that. So it's super cool because Basecamp does a good job of aggregating tasks across projects by user, which Trello does not. So you can add tasks to a card, but Trello doesn't do a good job of aggregating that. So that's a feature I wanted. I can aggregate across boards now, across content packages. It would be nice if we could. We need to add something to filter by board, so I'll do that. And then the other cool thing is you can get. I wrote export functionality in here, so you can export. You can export your tasks to Markdown, a Markdown document if you want. And then if you come back to your boards, and you go into your boards, you can import and export all the cards in your board. Right? So super cool data portability built in here to the app. So I've got some things I want to do. These columns, you can't move these columns yet. And I'd like to be able to set the color of the columns. And then I want to be able to do a little more filtering on the tasks. But we're going to use this. I'm going to try and use this in production. We're going to see how it works. I'm super stoked. I'm excited about what I'm going to be able to do. Check out Chef by Convex. It's a cool low-code, no-code web app solution. I do a lot of stuff on the desktop, but this is the kind of thing that's simple enough that I'm comfortable having it as a web application. And it comes with sign-in. You can sign in, sign out. So each of my team, all the the team members that are going to be working on marketing here at RH will get a user account, and we'll be able to track this, and we can add and tweak features as we want. I mean, how cool is that? That's super cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.